uh, is our next speaker. And before inviting Dr. T.P. Sashikumar, let me reflect upon his wisdom towards his introduction. You know, Dr. TPS.
Dr. Kailash ji, introduction not required. I think those people who were here heard me last time also.
Okay, now actually Dr. TPS is a very popular figure, man of wisdom for all of us. He's popularly known in international level. Okay, now it's time to invite Dr. TPS to have his talk on the scheduled topic on Yoga Sadhana. Over to Dr. TPS.
Sir, please unmute, sir.
I must thank Philosophy family for hosting me here. And thank you, Kailash ji, for not introducing me also. I am in the mood of discussing what Dr. Rajap Purohit.
Just call me Jeevan.
Yeah, Dr. Jeevan spoke so far. He told so many things, and then in between he was telling Dr. TPS is going to talk on Dharana, and that will cover that portion. Actually, what is the purpose of all these? Is only Jnanam. The whole Bhagavad Gita is not for karma. Karma can be done by anybody. Any soldier knows how to fight. He doesn't require a motivation because last end of the month he gets salary. Why not? Either he will die in the warfield, or when do you become the super boss? Only when you get the knowledge, the purpose of what for he is doing. When you get the knowledge, do you become happy or unhappy? Many places, Dr. Jeevan was telling that, Dukkham, Sukham, happiness. As far as he is concerned, Elon Musk is the successful man. Buddha is successful. I don't know whether Mahatma Gandhi was successful or not. Because if you look at Mahatma Gandhi's last birthday celebration, he made a statement saying that I have no more hope to live in this horrible world. He was the most unhappiest successful man. So, is it that success is happiness? Is it that everyone is looking for happiness? When you achieve something, when you get it, you become happier. If you don't achieve, what will happen? I think this is the most horrible, unhappy audience which I have. Nobody is on face. I am talking to computer. Do you think I am happy? I am unhappy actually. But still, why am I doing? Because there is a relationship. Pramod ji called, and Kailash ji will come only while introducing and then go off. And 14 people are there. Right? Why do I spend half an hour? Do you think I'm happy? I'm not at all happy. But what is that happiness which I get? The moment when I speak, I am able to reflect some knowledge. Is it because I'm going to get something out of it after this? I don't think I'm not going to get anything out of this. Everyone has a requirement. Karma is there, desire is there. Without desire, nobody is there in this world. So when your desire is satisfied, you become happier. As long as you have desire, you can talk about happy, unhappy. So when Dr. Jeevan asked me, am I happy? I said yes, because I have no desire at all. What can be the desire? In the world, there are only 3 desires. Only 3 desires, nothing else. The first desire is little knowledge, Uttar Pradesh. When you were talking, I wrote 1 page. So this 1 page is the reflection, not what you spoke. What is that I think about what you spoke? In between, I referred to Bhagavad Gita many times. When you talk about the earth, Yadamokham tadandaruptam toya, the Big Bang theory, which is explained in the Kalidasa's texts, came to my mind. Otherwise, I may not remember. What I heard from my guru long back, I may not even remember every day. But when you spoke, yeah, there is a mention. Who says that? Prabhav, those who have prabhav, knowledge, they spoke like this. So what is my intention of sitting in a lecture? Little more knowledge, little more reminding, little more reflections. What I learned is reminded on me. I'm happy. But if it is not there, does it mean I'm unhappy? See, you have to have a comparison. I'm happy. Okay, if it is not there, am I unhappy? No, I'm not unhappy. What do? I think something else. I think something else. When Dr. Jeevan told that, no, control your breath, then immediately it came to me, Ramana Maharshi said, nobody can meditate by holding your breath. Many so-called famous sannyasis in India are making a lot of money by just teaching hold your breath, and 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees chain business. They have not heard Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi said, Prana bandhanat liyate mana, jala pakshivat dina rodana. Holding breath while closing your eyes and meditate. Many people teach that. I don't know which textbook of Bharatiya Shastram taught the people to close your eyes to meditate. Never, no single textbook. Show me any authentic textbook other than the English-speaking modern Swamijis who talk about closing eyes to. Bhagavad Gita doesn't ask. Bhagavad Gita also talks about dhyanam. He asked Arjuna to have dhyanam in his action. Karma sannyasa yogam. Dhyanam is required. But then it is not closing your eyes and firing, not fighting. Action is what is required. Karma is required with knowledge. So many people misinterpreted samadhi as meditation. Samadhi is not meditation. Samadhi can be dhyanam. Then meditation. Dhyanam can be meditation. I meditate upon something. That is what people say. But Indian Bharatiya Shastram, samadhi is without any thoughts. Then how can you have thoughts on something and then meditate? Somebody in one of the lecture asked me, how do you become happy? I am thinking about learning to meditate and then I am not able to do it. I said, the desire of meditation itself is one of the biggest crime. Your desire is to attain peace, then you will never get peace. It has to come to you. Gham is space, free space, in which du added to become dukkam, su added to become sukham. And we will see in Mahabharata, the whole Mahabharata war is because of Gandhari. Gandhari would have asked Krishna, I want sukham. But what Gandhari asked is dukkam. Why dukkam? When I have dukkam, I will think about you so that when you come, I will get happiness. That's how climbing on the mountain. Each step is a terrible process for some people who don't enjoy it. But if you enjoy climbing, the mountain climbing becomes happier. So sukham and dukkam is individually dependent. You cannot have a bar saying that this is sukham, this is dukkam. So when I have shraddha in listening to a lecture, I understand things, I reflect on that. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. The 4th chapter, 39th sloka. 4th chapter, 39th sloka, I think. So when I say Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, that itself is an introduction for dharana. Because my concentration is there. Most of the people don't have concentration. Suppose you have concentration, if you have concentration, that means you have passion. Suppose somebody is attending this lecture, the topic is not of interest to you. Very difficult to concentrate. Concentration comes when you have passion for learning. Then the class becomes interesting. If somebody says the class was boring, that means you don't have interest in the topic. That's it. Even if the speaker is boring, you can still have interest. because you are not picking up the way he is speaking. You are picking up some points, you start reflecting. So the interest is from inside, not from somewhere outside. Once you understand that, that is what is Shraddha. Suppose the external thing is giving you Shraddha, fourth chapter is good enough to describe Shraddha. Where am I there in fourth chapter? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara. Pratyahara is fourth chapter. Yama is non-violence. Mahatma Gandhi reached only first step. He became world famous. People speak about eighth step. They never become world famous because you are only climbing step without having the base. That's a problem. Non-violence is good enough. Yama is good enough. Niyama, self-discipline. When somebody asks me to be disciplined, I will become unhappy. But I am self-disciplined. No, I am talking. Already it is told 45 minutes only I have to speak. Suppose somebody asks after 45 minutes, stop the talk, I will become unhappy. Suppose if I am disciplined, stop at 40 minutes. Finished. Just now I finished the talk. 15 minutes. I finished at 12 minutes and then said thank you, bye-bye. Good enough. So when you are self-disciplined, you feel happy. Non-violence, you are violent, then you don't want to speak, then internally you are burning. That is not non-violence. Your attitude itself is non-violence. So Yama, Niyama, Asana is anyway useless, but most of the people think only Asana is important. Monkey's job is not required. You don't have to behave like monkeys in the world. And one of the most important point which Dr. Jeevan spoke was Sattvic, Tamasic, Rajasic. Basically, I don't know whether I'd like to ask some questions. Only Dr. Jeevan is alive. Rest of the people are dead anyway. Basically, are we Sattvic, Rajasic or Tamasic, Dr. Jeevan?
Anything depending on the
biological structure of human being.
Negative. Tamasic.
There is nothing called a negative. Negative and positive is only our discussion.
Tamasic.
Yeah. Why?
It comes out with a pain.
No.
Inertia.
It is basically because 70 to 80% of our body has got fluid. And all the fluid is non-Newtonian. Non-Newtonian fluid obeys, or second Newton's law says, everyone like to be in the rest of, if you are in rest, in the same. If you are in motion, in the same. Either in the rest or basic nature. We all love to sleep. But we know we cannot sleep because we have so much to do in this world, because we have a desire. The desire is what is making us to wake up. Otherwise, who doesn't like to be on bed? Okay, now, why is so? Because blood has got a non-Newtonian fluid which has got a capillary motion. It is horizontal. We are most comfortable. Vertical, no animals are there. Every animal is horizontal and the blood flow is very smooth. But by unfortunate thing, Brahma created a human being like this with 1/10 of the body weight is on the head. Some people have more head weight because of their position power. Forget about them. And the pumping has to happen in the top with the capillary motion. We have blood which makes it happen so easily. So that blood non-Newtonian has got a retardation and relaxation property. So what does it mean? It doesn't like to flow. It also likes to keep in the rest. You can see ghee, when you pour it, it doesn't flow. It will think whether to flow or not. So in the bed, we cannot jump up and then, because it likes to be like that. So by nature, we are all, as you said, tamasic. But then that 30%, 30%, 30%, Sattvic, Tamasic, Rajasic is there in us. Because we have little spiritual, Sattvic is there. Rajasic, because we have got to live in the world. Every action which we do is Rajasic. So these 33, 33, 33 balance. Suppose we can extend a little bit and make this Sattvic into 50%, 60%, wonderful. That is what we call, oh, this person is a Sattvic man. But still in him also there is, if you look at Ramayana, all the each character you can see, Sita was also Rajasic. She also became Sattvic and Tamasic. Rama was more Sattvic, but a little bit of Rajasic is there. Otherwise, he will not fight. He would have been happy. He would have left all the kingdom and then went. He didn't do that. So everyone has got this. So does it add? If you look at where is it explained? The 14th chapter. Yeah, 14th chapter starts with the sloka number 1, 2, 3, 4. Finished. It explains how you are. Good enough. Then acquire knowledge so that, oh, you are aware. We have all these characters basically with us. How can we make little bit purposeful in this life? Everyone can live a life. My desire can be either to get knowledge. Part 4. The question is, how I can become purposeful so that whatever I gain, can I give it to somebody else? I have a big burden. My gurus gave me little knowledge. So if I die without parting it to somebody else, I am doing a big crime to my guru. So that is what is burning inside. Why the burning desire for giving lectures? Because somebody taught me if I don't give it, it's a papa. I am not forwarding that knowledge what I got. So that is what the desire which I have. And what that can be done with different modes. Artha, Dharma, and which gives me the moksha. Then the second requirement is some people have desire for making money. That is where you must have mentioned the richest fellows are most successful. I don't know whether they are successful or not. The development is not, progress is not the spiritual path when we talk about Maslow's law. Whenever we have got physical, emotional, intellectual, social, yeah, socially you are great. But whether spiritual enlightenment is what is growth as far as these philosophical discussions we have, we don't know. Then Putin also can be successful if he win the war. But in Mahabharata, we attributed not the success to anyone. Everybody was a failure. Mahabharata is a big failure. It is describing the human failure by fighting war. If somebody thinks that because he got sufficient knowledge and he fought the war, killed all his relatives, Mahabharata describes war is winning and that is success, that is also not correct. Mahabharata is not a successful war. It's a failure. It's a failure of human nature, what is being told. But when you do the job with knowledge, you understand the other person did not have sufficient knowledge. That is why all this has happened. There is a balancing required for making the other people who are not involved are also to be happy. For the other people, how to give happiness is my concern. For which I may die, I may kill somebody else also. Because larger community is at happiness. So I have a social cause. Social cause is more important because in the pyramid, physical, emotional, intellectual, last social, then spiritual. When society is in calm, then only spirituality can be talked. Then only Shraddha will come. Vivekananda also said you cannot meditate in the crossroads. When there is a lot of confusion, who can ask meditation? But we do mass meditation. And people pay 1 lakh rupees to learn meditation. I don't know which stupid Swamiji learned this. Vivekananda never allowed this. Right? So we are making all this as a business. So some people do anything for business. Don't think that that is success and that is happiness. That is meditation. So here, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. If you have that control in your indriyas, not control. Actually, I'm using the word control and immediately I am sending not control. Concentration with passion. So my eyes are focused, my ears are focused, indriyas are focused. That's why it is called Shraddhavan Labate Jnanam. 4th chapter. Focus. Indriya control is already there because I have passion. How to create passion in your work? That Dr. Jeevan immediately said, yeah, you should have passion in your work. I was thinking 4th chapter. That is what it is. Now, the 5th chapter, 6th chapter talks about the Dhyanam, not Samadhi. Samadhi, Dhyanam, and Dharana all together is called the concentration. because it is internal. As long as the indriyas are controlled, I am internal, and that internal focus should happen through the concentration, where it could be the 5th chapter, because 6th chapter talks about the dhyanam. So 5th chapter last sloka, I am not chanting that. Bhoktaram yatna tapasam sarvalokamahiswaram suhridam sarvabhutanam natvamam shanti mruchyati. That is the method to get shanti. If you do this, you get shanti. What is that shanti? That shanti is what is called probably dhyanam. That is why the last 5th chapter, last sloka is an introduction for the next chapter, peace. So peace is entirely different from sukham and dukkham. Peace is what Bharatiya Shastram talks about. 6th chapter talks about dhyanam. What is dhyanam? Samadhi. There is no English for that. For dhyanam, meditation is used. That is why I meditated upon my activity and I could do it. In dharana, dhyanam, samadhi together can be called as spiritual concentration, so that your focus can be improved, your actions can be cleaner and cleaner. So 6th, 7th, 8th, 3 steps put together. So after pratyahara, immediately go to dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Yoga 6, 7, 8 step. That is what I wanted to tell. Because many people know meditation. Where does it come? 5th chapter, last sloka. 6th chapter, real dhyana yoga. I would not have told like this, but having the introduction by Dr. Jeevan, this is what I thought I should tell. I think good enough. There can be few questions. I'll be very happy. And as you have Suguna Brahma, and that thought process will become much cleaner and better and easier. The sadhana should come from not by forcing yourself externally. Many people talk about external sadhanas. External sadhana will not reach you into, because already you are into the connection from your indriyas are lost. Then your andaratma sadhana. How do you get andaratma sadhana? By being in satsang, not in paid form, not by taking ticket, not by coming to your place and staying with him. No, not required. I can be with my guru without even going to him physically. Andaratma sadhana. And that andaratma sadhana can be with God himself. That's what Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita. You don't have to come to me. No need of coming to him. Where are you going? The God is inside you only. See, coming to God, coming to temple, going for rituals, looking for where God is, all these are one of the dirtiest and the worst thing. The spirituality doesn't talk about God being outside. That is for the normal people. But once you become a Bhagavad Gita learner, you must understand Bhagavan is not far. He is inside you. It is not hunting for God. God is not in north or south of India. Don't go to big temples which are constructed. People think that big construction of temple take them to become sannyasis. Great temple, sannyasi. And come to my ashram and stay, then it's not. Actually, these are not Bharatiya Shastram at all. Leaving everything and going is what is where. Not many people say that you have to leave this house and then go. No, not required. And people say Vanaprastham. What is Vanaprastham? What is Dr. Jeevan Vanaprastham?
When you
Brahmacharyam, Garhasthyam, then
finish your grasthashram, the duties of your grasthashram are over, and you are in a position to guide others to.
What is Vanaprastham?
So the word would say prasthana to vanam.
No, that is where I have
That is incorrect.
I have an objection there. I have an objection there. It is not vanam. It is Vanaprastham. Many people misguided all of us. Vanaprastha. Vanam is not vanam. Vanam is forest. Vanam is space. Come to my department, space department. So, what is that it says? You have to go to space. What is the beauty of space? Even when the rocket goes, there is a mark given. Immediately it will become clean. Like that, your manas, which is gum, space, go into your space. That is what is dharana. Go into your space which doesn't have a mark. Somebody scolds me, no problem. It doesn't make a mark. Next meeting I see Dr. Jeevan again in a clean. That is why Shankaracharya also cleanly explained it with one small short sloka. Manam darpana samanam. Manam darpana samanam. Manas is like a mirror. When you are here in front of me, I know you. That's it. As the webinar is over, you are out. I don't even think about you because I don't have bindedness. I am not even keep on thinking about the person. I have to behave like a mirror. I have no bindedness. Oh, the seminar was not good. Oh, it was horrible. Nobody has shown their faces. There were only 13 people. Yesterday I had a beautiful seminar, Philippines. 500 people attended my technology management seminar. That was wonderful because everybody was showing face. So many comments I got. How does it matter? Yeah? See, I enjoyed or not is my question. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed this also. So my job is over. So many people keep on keeping that bindedness. That is what Bhagavad Gita also says. Don't interpret Bhagavad Gita talks about attachment, detachment. No attachment, detachment. Bindedness and not bindedness. There is a bondage between Arjuna and Krishna? No. But there is an attachment? Yes. Attachment should be there. If attachment is not there, I don't even call Dr. Jeevan as Dr. Jeevan. I don't even call when Dr. Das call me, I will not come because there is a attachment between both of us. But if he doesn't call, will I think about it and say why he has not called me? No, I don't care. That's immaterial for me. So, understanding word by word in Bhagavad Gita will give you a bigger vision. You turn yourself into moksha sannyasa yogam. What is moksham? Happiness. What is sannyasam? Sannyasam. I am into myself and then burning inside with my happiness. Burning inside, not with the desire. So when you burn inside with the desire, you become ashes. When you burn with the desire, you become ashes. When you burn with happiness, you get into that join with Bhagavan. You become supreme personality. Your personality will develop in such a fashion. Supreme personality. What is supreme personality? Bhagavan himself. So it is not the materialistic dukkham. Gandhari had materialistic dukkham. But that doesn't mean anything because her desire was getting to Bhagavan, reaching Bhagavan, meeting him once in a while. So she could. So that is why she asked, I want dukkham. When I have dukkham, I will think about you. When I think about you, I will get it. It's like scratching your skin. When you scratch, you get happiness. But after some time, it will suffer. Don't do that. You suffer. After some time, you get happiness. That is what is required. So dharana is focus. Focus for the ultimate aim, and not to forget the action. The action also should have focus. When you will have focus action? Only when you have passion. So with the passion, get into an ultimate good activity which will give you happiness. The path is also happier and the climax is also happier. Like don't climb mountains because somebody is pushing you. You are climbing because you have a passion for climbing. So each step becomes happier. Whether you reach there or not doesn't matter. Still I feel happy because I enjoyed the path itself. That is what I want to submit. Thank you, Namaskar for all of you for, and I must thank Kailash ji and Das ji and other people who are handling this philosophy. And thank you, Dr. Jeevan, because of your talk, I could reflect on something. That's what it is. So, Namaskar.
Okay, thanks. Hearty gratitude to Guruji Dr. TPS for your brilliant talk on Yoga Sadhana. Sir, you have made a conceptual analysis of all the elements coming under Yoga Sadhana, and being a spiritual master, you have unfolded all our limitations and wrong notions on different aspects of Yoga-Dharana by your clear understanding on Bhagavad Gita and other Bharatiya Shastras. Sir, we bow down before you for your wisdom. Now I request Dr. K. Omanan Rao to carry on the interactive session with Dr. Raj Purohit sir and
Dr. TPS, and thank you, Dr. Rajpuri sir. Both the lectures were very good, and I should doubly thank Dr. Jeevan Rajpuri sir, because he started, and many of the clarifications could come from Dr. TPS, because that is where something new has come, something a refinement to the understanding has come. I should thank both of you for that, because initiation is required, and certain say modifications and giving a new dimension to thought, or rather certain refinements to the thought process. So that has taken place in Dr. TPS, and I should thank him for that. So to start with, well, I think Dr. Pramod Kumar Das is working on this area. So I would request uh, Pramod Das sir to have a few words so that we can initiate further. Pramod Kumar Das sir, because he is working in that area.
Thank you, sir. I really enjoyed both the talks delivered by great speakers. I shall speak only one sentence what I learned from both of them, that is self transformation. This only this word. Dr. Raj Purohit spoke about that through Triguna, and Dr. TPS spoke the same thing through the pure consciousness, the power of consciousness. So the aim is self-transformation. That is the goal of life, that is sadhana, and that is also the goal. Self-transformation. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Das. Well, Krishnamurti sir wanted to say something. Sir, welcome, sir. Krishnamurti sir.
I didn't raise my hand, but still I am tempted to ask because you have asked me to ask. The question is to Dr. Jeevan. Sir, thank you very much for your excellent presentation of Triguna theory and Yoga Sadhana, quoting from various scriptures and other things. I'm really thankful to you, sir. But what is the purpose of guna? Please tell me, number one. Number two, what are the uses of guna? Number three is how do they react with each other? If you can kindly explain, then I can 100% understand of what you have asked, whether I am 100% happy or not, so that I can put it into use and convert it into 100% happiness. But still, I'm not 100% happier, because if the society is happier by 100%, I'm really happy. If I am happy 100%, I'm certainly not happy, because I'm also equally concerned with the lives of the people living on this universe. Thank you.
Thank you, Srini sir. You yourself are a gyata on this subject, and I had the opportunity of
I'm nothing in this. Sorry, I'm nothing. I'm just a catalyst.
Yeah. I had heard this catalyst once in Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, where we conducted the national seminar on Triguna itself.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I suppose those insights are leading you to the questions that you have posed today. The purpose of guna. You see, the very existence of the entire Prakriti is composed of guna. So when you say purpose of guna, is you're asking purpose of the planet existence. So if you are asking for existence of our survival, our universe, our cosmos, it's far too big a subject to be handled by a micro mini human being like me. But at the same time, you and me have a soul which has come from the same cosmos. It has got the same intrinsic qualities of the cosmos, of those three gunas, which are there in me, which are exhibited through me by by the soul, by the consciousness, by the past birth, or whatever my karmas of the day are. And therefore, if you ask me what is the purpose of gunas, possibly I would say that if I can maintain a fine balance between my existence and the consciousness which is existing, I think I would succeed. And if I'm not trying to become too philosophical, I'll try to be practical in life, that all of us have to live this life. All plants, animals, and the human beings, we are the lucky ones that we can express, talk, interact, and given a chance, we can improve ourselves. So we are those lucky people who, having understood the very existence of the cosmos, also understand that the ultimate tattva lies in what Dr. TPS said is the ultimate happiness, ultimate truth. That's the ultimate truth. Rest all is the bondages, boundaries that you and me talk about. So the purpose to me, my personal appreciation is maintain a fine balance to enjoy every day, every moment of my life. The second question is, what are the uses of Triguna? Whether
Okay, once again. Okay, I understand your interpretation of the uses, but as far as I'm concerned, the gunas are existing only for the sake of helping others. That is my perception.
Absolutely. So whether when I say that I will do it myself, I am automatically doing for you as well. When you do for yourself or society, you are what he says, detached attachment. You know, when I am saying that, okay, let me be good, I am actually being good from within myself that will impact my immediate surroundings. That's my society. And that's what you said, that if 100% society is happy, I shall be happy. So if each member of the society is happy, the entire society is happy. Ultimately, a nation is happy when each individual of the nation or a clan or a group is happy. Where does this happiness come from? As we have already discussed, the gunas have got this curve or sukha and dukha, sattva and tamas, and the energy in between leads to one or the other side. Which side you wish to remain is up to you, up to me, up to all of us. And when each member of the society decides that yes, plus and minuses will come, and I shall still continue to be good. Dukha is as much part of my life as is the sukha. And the how do they react with each other? Yes, very well. I just said the two ends of the strand, and both of them exist in the same life, same human being, same society, same cosmos, and therefore they are intrinsically intertwined. And therefore you cannot detach a dukh with the sukh, or say sattvic nature with the tamasic nature. They are part of me. At a moment I am sattvic, at another moment I am tamasic. And therefore, what I draw the analogy from, TPS said that instead of 33.3% equidistributed, I try and balance it to 50 towards sattva and rest towards rajas and tamasic, so that they energize me towards gravitating to sattvic stance. And if that can happen, I think whether it is my 100% happiness or the society's 100% happiness can well be achieved. The main issue lies is not in the philosophy. The main issue, as far as I think, lies in the implementation of my understanding in the contextual world, in the contemporary world today. When I'm talking to you, I'm being very sattvic. When I go out in the market, when I deal with my traders, deal with my business and other people, at times I'm so moron, so selfish in my approach, so tamasic in my dealings. How do I then get the ultimate happiness when inside core of mine is tamasic, and outwardly I'm trying to say, oh, all is very good, and I'm being very good to you. That doesn't happen. It would happen. Charity begins at home. When I start doing it with myself in all forms of my core activities, my other activities or my life as such, I think that's the time the balance would come in and the nature would play its own cards and I shall have to deal with it. More inputs from the august learned members are solicited.
Thank you, sir. And one more thing I would like to say about the properties which I have asked. I think they are there only for mutually supporting, dominating, and protective and cooperative. These are the properties of the gunas which I understood. I think it really applies in the real sense. If you agree with me, then it's okay. Otherwise, I will have to learn a lot from this. Thank you.
Perfectly fine. I perfectly am in full sync with you. The entire existence of happiness of mine with my family is how I balance myself with them. Whether I call them my relational balance or my soul to soul balance, it's all for us to visualize, see it, understand it, and then apply it.
Also in Sri Devi Bhagavatam, please read chapter 3, sloka 8, which is very excellent in interpreting the three uses of the three gunas, which will really love to, read and interpret it to other forums also. Thank you.
Sure, I shall. TPS, sir, would you like to enlighten us on chapter 3.8?
Bhagavatam.
Welcome, Dr. TPS.
Sorry, Devi Bhagavatam.
Dr. TPS, sir, some your observations, sir, on the entire issue, sir. Dr. TPS.
I think all of us have got a goal, role, and value balancing. That is what is life. That is what ultimately Dr. Jeevan wanted to say. We have a role to play and we have a goal. And the value system which we talks about, Sattvic, Tamasic, Rajasic, has to be played in different places accordingly with the balancing. If you don't know how to play it, maybe sometime you will enjoy, but later you will feel, oh, I should not have done it. That is where the crime happens to most of the people, and that's where people become unhappy. While doing, you are happy. Probably you find a justification for not doing or doing. So the conflict is within us. There is a manas and the buddhi, which always try to keep conflicting. The more and more we learn, we find the textbooks for justifying. Which textbook, which chapter, which sloka you want to use it for justifying. I don't think uneducated people have this problem. I found when I went and sat in front of a ophthalmologist when I was doing psychology research, he says educated people come, it is very difficult to test them. The uneducated fellow, if he is able to see, he will say, yeah, I am able to see. Educated fellow will start testing the ophthalmologist themselves. They'll say, no, I am not. The earlier glass was good. So what he does is he takes it back and keep it the same thing. Now it is good. He keeps the same glass only because he knows better psychology than the patient. He has been doing it for many people, right? And then he will say, that's it. So the more and more we get educated, we have this problem. Otherwise, people have. That is why in Krita Yuga, people were happy. They were living with nature. When it comes to Treta Yuga, you have little more problems, right? And the problems are between one society to another society, not within family. But when Dwapara Yuga came, the fight became within the family. And today in Kali Yuga, the problem is within all of us. It is all self-created, self-problems only. There are no problems in the society. It's only ego. It's only self-satisfaction. I don't think the war between two countries are not because of society requirements. It is only individualistic requirements. They don't know how to play their role. Their goals are surprisingly bad. Right, the value system becomes zero. That is the reason which we have these problems. Devi takes different avatars and shows different fashions to illustrate the psychological aspects of every human being.
Sir, Dr. TPS, sir, yes, I understand. I have a few clarifications if you can kindly enlighten me, I'll be very happy, sir. The question that you posed to in the forum is about show me one Shastriya literature wherein you are asked to close your eyes in meditation. Number one. My interpretation is when you do ekagratha, contemplation, concentration, contemplation, dharana, dhyana, automatically you are from ekagratha, you are switching over to contemplation. From contemplation, you are going to real dhyana, wherein you automatically close your eyes. No one advises you to close the eyes because there only the transcendental meditation called the changing state of consciousness happens. That is what my perception, and Patanjali also opines the same thing in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, wherein you have about 10 varieties of samadhis, right from Sampragyada, Asampragyada to Dharmamega Samadhi or Kaivalya Samadhi. So under that context, I do not see how you said it, sir, please. Number two is Mahabharata was a failure. I was totally shocked, dismayed, disgruntled, because what I have read is only a war between dharma and adharma. When I say that, I think I'm misplaced about it. And number two, sir, number three, your deliberation about yoga sadhana, I am not even qualified to comment about it, but still it is my innate nature and happiness. I get it if you clarify my doubt. Is that you spoke yoga sadhana only from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita perspective and not from the Sankhya philosophy or Patanjali yoga philosophy perspective, sir. Please clarify my doubt.
On the first question of closing eyes, you yourself answered it. You said automatically my eyes will get closed. That's why I said nobody prescribes. But today what is happening, people will ask close eyes and concentration will come. I said closing eyes, your concentration will not come. Automatically it should get closed. You said it. I agree with you. See, today many people go to temple. The real bhakta, when they reach in front of the deity, automatically eyes will get closed. You are not seeing the God actually, you are seeing God inside. And you ask the so-called people who go to temple what they have seen. Oh, what a rush in Shabarimala, what a rush in... Are you going to Shabarimala and Tirupati to see the rush, or are you going to see the God? So they have seen only rush. See, the problem is externally people are being guided by this. That's only what I said. There is no prescription for closing eyes. Automatically your eyes get closed. Yes, you cannot close it. You don't have to close it. So it is the process of seeing may be there, but you are not processing it. So the seeing is there, but internally you are not processing it. So that state is what is called samadhi. It is not your eyes are closed. Eyes can be open, but still you don't see anything. Ears are open, but still you don't hear, get the sound at all. That is why Vivekananda said you cannot meditate on the crossroad. It is not that you cannot be on the crossroad. Disturbance is there. So many people say I am not able to concentrate because there are a lot of disturbance. I said when you walk on the I stay in Hyderabad. When you walk in the Charminar, when two people walk together, they hold the hand. When they speak, they don't listen to you or not. With all the disturbance, we are able to concentrate. So it is all in our mind. That's why I mentioned that. Second one, Mahabharata war. A war is fought where either you win or lose. Losing and winning is fine. But what is the speciality of Mahabharata war? Everyone has to die on the other side. You can imagine the last part where Duryodhana is dying. And every one of them go to what is called either moksha or maybe surga or naraka, wherever they go. You look at that suffering which all of them had. They lost their own. So who is actually the partners of the war did not gain anything out of it. Even Krishna did not. Krishna himself was telling it's all what is I am supposed to do, I am doing it, that's it. So it is nothing called winning or losing. So if you think that success is by winning, that is why I said success is not winning or losing. When you do it for somebody else, that happiness when you derive, you feel happy about it. That is what it is. And what was the last one? Yeah, my referring to most of my learnings have been on yoga, on Hada Yoga Pradipika. When you look at Hada Yoga Pradipika, you really understand the inner meanings of even the breathing practice which you have. Bhagavan Krishna himself said, Uttara Gita, he says, Ananda Shastram Bahuvedi Davyam Alpascha Kale Bahuvascha Vigno. Ananda Shastram Bahuvedi Davyam. There are a lot of Shastras. Why do you want to waste your time learning all this? Because Alpascha Kale, you have little bit of time. Bahuvascha Vigno. Lot of troubles are there in your life. So practical action which is useful for human being. While fighting the war, that knowledge was useful. After fighting the war, don't think about knowledge and waste your time now. Don't learn. That action is over. Now, if you look at when you do pranayama, when you do it in the right style, yes. But how many people today do it in the right style? Many are misguided in the name of pranayama. So when you get misguided, what happens? You get more diseases, because prana is one of the most precious thing which you should use it very carefully. If you don't do it in the right way, you get a lot of problems. So most of the problems today is we are not conscious about our breathing. So what is pranayama? You be conscious about your breathing. I see when I learned yogasana, I'm very carefully using the word. When I learned yogasana, after that taught pranayama, I used to train young children in Hyderabad. Every Saturday we used to have satsang. I said all of them, hold your breath. But some people will hold the breath and immediately they will pump it out like a pressure cooker. That time I used to hold for some more time. What a useless thing I am doing. When you are holding breath, actually, the way I can hold, others may not be able to hold. Because each one of us have got a rhythm of life in which the way I eat, you cannot eat. The way I breathe, somebody else cannot breathe. So you cannot have one scale for everyone. And once I do that, what will happen? The breath which you take inside, automatically holding inside, make you more sick because you are not so clean. So the air content which you have 16% or 20% in the best possible, the 0.4% carbon dioxide will become 4.4. Oxygen will from 22, it will become 16. So you are holding not oxygen. The more polluted carbon dioxide with that air you are holding, hallucination will come. So this is the problem. We are not living in the world where the text was written. You cannot just copy it. And today what is Yogasana which we are doing? Who is the father of yoga of the modern world? What was happening in the Mysore Palace when the modern yoga was introduced? What was, how many postures which we had? Did we had really Shirshasana? I keep saying if we had Shirshasana by Patanjali, or we could have seen Krishna and Shiva in Shirshasana. They were Mahayogis, but you don't see them in that. So these are all, we started making some modifications. Gymnastics was added. Lot of the dilution and pollution has happened in the Yoga Shastra. So there is no point in writing Patanjali Yoga Shastra and then teaching some other Yoga Shastra. That is only what I am saying. So most of the time we polluted the traditional Bharatiya Shastra for packaging it and then selling it. I was in US, I must have attended many of the yoga practices, meditation practices being sold there in capsule way. That is all where I have got some contention. Otherwise, no.
Thank you, sir, by any means. But Patanjali Maharishi has not prescribed any yogasanas. As he said, it's only Stiram Sukham Asana.
That's what I wanted.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. TPS, for your very nice responses. But To the earlier response, sir, one thing, sir, it comes to me, I may be wrong, sir, but a bit of guidance on this. Actually, as you said, a common man has no inner conflict, and whatever inner conflict that comes, it comes to someone who is in the stage of trying to know something, of a person who is a bit elevated. So a sort of inner conflict arises, a conflict between the mind and the intellect that comes. And how do you guide such sort of persons, I say even the ordinary, the normal persons who have at least elevated to a certain state of knowledge and where they face such sort of crisis? Sir, can you please, sir? The inner conflict between mind and buddhi.
Is it to me? Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir.
The young children, by birth, we are all happy. You can see them smiling. See, you make some child to play with a pen. Show them. They will come to grab it. You pull it. They will come behind it. The time they get it, they will be happy. They will smile at you. Assume you don't give it and keep it somewhere else. Immediately, though, they will go and grab something else around them. They know how to shift their desire. We have this problem, the bindedness. Once I want something, I am behind it. So I become sick. That is because it is not emotion which is working. The buddhi is trying to control the emotion. My buddhi keep this picture of this item. I want that, I want that. You are not able to shift. That's why I said, Shankara said, Manam Darpana Samanam. When it is in front of you, you like it. When it is not in front of you, it doesn't matter. That detachment, not getting binded with that time I can use the word detachment, is good for you. But that is what children have. They can shift. We are all like that. But what has happened? Over the prarabdha karma, we started learning little bit here and there, but did not understood perfectly, so that we have a lot of confusion. So the problem is either you should have no knowledge, or you have little knowledge. That is what is creating problem. See, we have a great story. Mainly Chenmaya Swami keep on mentioning it. No, the rope. Either you decide it is a rope or it is a snake. You have a confusion. What is there on the road? Crossing the path. No, you found something. You have a confusion whether it is a rope or a snake. Then you have problem. You think it is a rope, and just take it and pick it and throw it, no problem. It is clean, cleared. Because you thought it is a snake, you are not able to touch it. And you are not able to go further. You are confused. Most of the people are in confusion. The confusion is because of the half knowledge. And why is it happening? Because many fake people are there around. They keep on giving knowledge. Where does it happen? It happens from copying from somewhere to somewhere to somewhere to somewhere. So you have to go to, our knowledge was traditionally from Guru Parampara. If we have beautiful time with Guru, having lot of question answer. Just before this I had a lecture. There was no question answer. So what has happened? I gave 15 minutes lecture and stopped. I said good enough. Because I know there is no session for question answers. And I have to attend to this. Immediately they asked, the session was good. I said, I did not enjoy. I am very plain. I said, I did not enjoy because there was no question answer. You could have asked me to record and send it. You could have made somebody to listen. Why should waste my 1 hour for this introduction, another 15 minutes, and Thanksgiving, another 15 minutes. Somebody wrap up of 15 minutes. Our 1 hour is lost. There are no people with questions. See, if you have no question answer, actually session is useless. When your learning should happen with the question. So Bhagavad Gita is not created by Bhagavan. Bhagavan did not create Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is created by Arjuna. If there are no questions, Bhagavad Gita. See, when you talk about Bhagavad Gita and you don't allow questions. I taught Bhagavad Gita twice. What I used to do, 20 minutes I speak Bhagavad Gita, 40 minutes question answer. 1 hour. But it doesn't stop 1 hour. It goes to 2.5 hours, most of my sessions. Until the last person have question and finish it. I am not in a hurry. You are not in a hurry. Are you in a hurry for eating? Then don't come for this business. I keep saying when your Uttar Pradesh is working, Madhya Pradesh should not work. That should be the seal for knowledge. And that has to be the practice. So we don't have the patience. So what will happen? Half heard from somewhere, half heard from somewhere. You have no questions. I am 100% sure when Srinivasji is asking, it is not that he don't know. It is polishing. Every one of us have to polish. Every one of us have to polish. I used to meet my guru with a recorder, ask questions, and keep on asking questions. And some of the answers I may not understand, but I used to record, listen to that many times. Oh, this is what he told. Then I say, I understood now. Then he said, I understood. I myself did not understand perfectly. I gave you a vague answer. Now you come back to me after a month, I will give you another answer. See, there is no, when I am saying it is not 100% correct. My interpretation, my reflections on today is what I am. See, the time when Srinivas ji is asking Hadayoga Pradipika, that sloka I am not getting. I am thinking about it. I am not able to get it. So actually, while answering also, that thought is going. So I am not reflecting 100% in free mind. This happens. But I came with preparing something in my mind, some note was written. But Dr. Jeevan was talking something, I made a reflection on that, and my total talk is for that. Because I know that I can use it somewhere else some other day. That is why I don't use PowerPoint presentations at all. I like to reflect. I am not speaking from heart, I am reflecting. So there is nothing called a knowledge. There is only called our interpretations on what we heard, what we know until now. What is absolute knowledge? Nothing is there. Is there truth which we know? No. We know only facts. That is why we refer to Bhagavad Gita. That is why we refer to... See, I remember when Srinivas ji told, it is not that I never heard Devi Bhagavatam. My childhood Bhagavatam means Devi Bhagavatam only. Later, because of Krishna's marketing people, Bhagavatam has become Krishna Bhagavatam. Otherwise, Bhagavatam for me or for whole Kerala people, it is only Devi Bhagavatam. So I remember in my childhood, my mother used to make me to chant this continuously. And we by-hearted so much. It took nearly 42 years or 43 years. When I became 43 years only, I started reflecting on what I learned in my childhood. So sometimes we learn something, reflection comes later. So it needs a lot of time. That is the sadhana. Everybody need not do it. Very few people can do it. That is good enough. Why we should have a lot of people in this world who knows everything? Not required. Because we have got many other jobs to do. If we are into this path and you enjoy it, probably we need some more time to learn. And it is not end of the knowledge. I think we are only learning little bit here and there.
May I?
Yeah.
I'll add on what you asked, internal conflict. You actually asked a question on internal conflict. And Dr. TPS was, he's actually spoken from a very vast stage to resolve the conflict. I'll come to practical ground reality of the conflict. Internal conflict, we all know intra-conflict and interpersonal conflict. Internal conflict, what you're reflecting or saying is the conflict within me. The conflict within me could be because of two reasons. Two reasons. Reason one is what I have inside and what I am thinking are at crossroads. They are not synchronized. So I am the cause, I am the effect, and I am in the conflict. The second is I am reflecting on something because of an external stimuli. Stimuli can be the situation outside, in the market, in the school, in the business, anywhere, wherein it comes into me and I reflect it and I find it not in sync. And I feel that it is again contradictory to what I am thinking. And therefore, as an individual, from the Western perspective, I see that the intrapersonal conflict is the conflict within me because of these two reasons. And if I have to resolve this, what we've been talking all through is introspecting, thinking about it, doing pluses and minuses, and from moving from tamasic to rajasic to sattvic and balancing it out, including part of sadhana to see that I put my internal issues at rest. And another point that I wish to remind us that thoughts are never ending. They are clouds in the mind. They'll keep coming in. And there is no one perfect solution, no one perfect focus, no one perfect answer to all the thoughts that are coming. to the extent that while you and me are talking, I am having different number of thoughts which are flying in and out, and so do you have. And therefore, when there is something conflicting, contrasting between the fleeting thoughts, the clouds, and what I am focusing on, it leads me into confusion. It leads me to a conflicting situation, to whatever decision I wish to take, and I'm unable to take that decision. It impacts my life today. It may impact my life practically tomorrow. And therefore, in order to get a solution to this, again, what is required is sit, do plus minuses, and resolve it. There's one question from Dr. Mishra which can be addressed. Shabani Mishra is asking, sir, can you please guide us about today's peaceless situations in war between countries by which the social well-being, happiness is being disturbed? How can we address it to achieve peace? Can it be possible? With regards, Dr. TPS?
See, continuing from what you said, Chittam Karana Varthartham.
Right.
Chitta is the problem for everything. And it also says, Purne Manasi Sampurnam Jagat Sarvam Sudhadravaihi Upana Gudapadasya Nanu Charma Strudaiva Bohi. There are a lot of problems in the world. When do we have problem? See, morning I can have my beautiful breakfast, listening the news, what is happening in Ukraine. Do we stop breakfast when the news is happening? Only thing, when I hear the news or I can read the newspaper, no problem. I keep making jokes sometimes. Oh, I am from Kerala. I am staying in Hyderabad. When the news says there is a fire in Kerala, immediately my eyebrows will go up. I am getting little bit closer. That is why when our news report, when they report, they immediately say, no, the fire happened in Ukraine and 4 of Indians finished. And our eyebrow goes up. And when he say one of them is from Karnataka, oh, I also studied in Karnataka. I love to know where it happened in Karnataka. So we all keep attachment. So that is why Bhagavad Gita says, the more and more attachment you have, Purne Manasi Sampurnam. It's all in the Manas. Otherwise, there are a lot of things happening around the world. The COVID happened, many people died. Ukraine war happened, many people died. The number of people dying either in the war or COVID is not more than the number of people dying in hunger in the whole world. Why we are not concerned? We are not concerned because we are only concerned with rich people and political people and government responsible people. They are also government responsible, poor. But we get detached from them because everyday problem, no. Understood? See, when there are a lot of news which comes in the newspaper which something happened, people say there are a lot of problems in the world. I said it's not because a lot of problems are there. Because there is no big problem which happened. Assume that there is a big flight collapsed. A landing, it has been burned and 300 people, 50 people died. The whole news will be covering only that. So, when bigger problem comes, smaller problem is observed. That is natural in this world. No time problems can be solved. Either this problem or some other problem. If there are no problems, like this political and pandemic problem, the newspaper will follow these people, oh, poor people died. We are not concerned about it because that is not a great concern for us. So I'm sure problems are never solved. If you look at the first part of Ramayana, you understand the world was not good during the Treta Yuga also. Dwapara Yuga, we know there are many problems. That is why Rama was unhappy. So Yoga Vasishta is this, the concept of Yoga Vasishta in one sloka is what I said. When Rama was unhappy, what is happening? And Dasharatha, that means he had 10 beautiful cars at home. And Ayodhya, no yuddham should happen there. No war there. And in such a place, they went and fought war in some other country. You can imagine. Otherwise, war would have been in our land. No. They wanted to kidnap people, go there so that I have a reason for going there and fighting. Whichever world, when we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, either it in my land or other land, war is war only, right? People are dying same. So we have to find reason why is it happening. That's all what we do as human being. If we have no reasoning, I keep saying, 5 wives and 1 husband solves all the problems in the world. What is 5 wife? Where, when, why, when, how, and 1 H, how it happened. You keep asking this question. As long as we have that curiosity, we find the problems. Either in the Russia it will be there, or somewhere else some other problem would have been there. Yeah, Srinivasji, I got to that sloka. I got to that sloka. Right? Pranayamena, pranayamam, if you do it in yuktam, pranayamena yuktena, sarvaroga samaraha. Pranayamena yuktena sarvaroga samaraha. Ayuktabhyasa yogena sarvaroga samudbhavaha. If you do it wrong way, ayuktabhyasa yogena sarvaroga samudbhavaha. So most of the people, when you are guiding, I guide you on breathing practice, finished. Your breathing will change inside you, many diseases will come. So actually pranayama is not to be practiced in mass. Guru to guru. Yoga was never a online program. See, I keep saying, assume that some yoga master is coming online and saying, hold your breath, and that power went off. You don't know when to release it. Finished, he will die there. So our online programs were never practiced. Yoga is like a doctor has to touch you and find out how much breath you can take. I must know the pulse. It was 1-to-1. Now today we have become massive thing. So yoga yuktena sarvaroga samaraha. The yoga is pranayama. The pranayamena yuktena sarvaroga samaraha. Ayuktabhyasa yogena sarvaroga samudbhava. All the disease will come if you don't practice pranayama properly. So how much to breathe? My guru keeps saying, breath is not yours, air is not yours. How can I ask you to hold it? So it should be like a Tailadhara breathing. Tailadhara breathing is not, no. Tailadhara will be like a slow flow. It should flow inside you and go out without knowing. So how does it happen? I've got a small, I named it as meditation, Dr. TPS meditation. I am from Himalayan tradition, Swami Rama's disciple. So I kept one meditation, Dr. TPS. So how do we make people to practice breathing? Lie down on the bed with your tummy touching on the bed. You feel your breath. Your tummy will go up and down. Good enough. That is your pranayama. So lie down like this for some time and then feel your breathing, and you are aware of breathing. And you are aware of breathing, automatically you know how to control it and tune it. Don't do it with somebody's instructions on you, because they are different and I am different. That is what pranayama says. And once you hold your breath, that means not holding by somebody else. Liyate mana. Your mind will become so calm. Prana bandhana liyate mana. Yeah. Good enough.
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh.
Thank you.
Pranachindanat, Ramana Maharshi's Pranachindanat, Leena Manasam, Ekachintanat. It goes like that. Beautiful Ramana Maharshi's slokas are there. I think I have recorded somewhere and then interpreted on them also.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was really a very beautiful session, sir. The one thing, the last question it would be for Dr. Purohit, sir. Actually, if we take life as a process of self-transformation, now how to deal with a person, say, who has a non-understanding mindset? Well, whatever may be the input, say the case of Duryodhana. So he is never prepared to understand. So how to deal with a person who is never trying to understand? So how to deal with that? Such sort of personality, sir.
That's a real very interesting question. It is easy to share, train, teach a person who is ignorant, like a child. He or she doesn't know. So you can tell him or tell her, and gradually they learn. But it is so difficult to train already trained men. He has to go through an entire change management cycle of learning, unlearning, and relearning. Now this unlearning process and then relearning is so very difficult, which Dr. TPS had also referred, कि कितना मुश्किल है उसका कप खाली करना. No, his cup is already full. He is not ready to take any more inside. And unless he empties his cup, nothing more can go inside. So this is possible only when self-realization is there. Without that self-realization, any external force cannot, in my personal opinion, no one can make me understand anything unless I'm prepared for it. So whether it is Duryodhana of Dwapar Yuga or the literate technical experts or the visionaries of today, if they really have to achieve the happiness, sense of satisfaction, so success in professionalism is one part of it, but happiness of life that comes all along the journey has to be experienced every day. And I have to be prepared to accept that yes, I can make a mistake, you can make a mistake, that's part of life, and I can suffer through it. But tomorrow morning when I get up, I start with the fresh belief, fresh values, fresh attitude, and a new behavior. And if I can build in those traits, then I think I can change, I can learn. It is so difficult to find Duryodhanas of today who are amenable to change. Change for self-interest, change for personal perspectives, yes. But change for self-improvement, self-satisfaction requires an internal awareness, internal learning, and self-readiness. I hope I'm partially able to answer.
I'm so happy Dr. Jeevan gave. I'm unstoppable. Unstoppable in this. Dr. Jeevan gave a very logical answer. But understand, when you look at Mahabharata, all the questions are answered internally.
Yes.
You don't have to apply any logic. It is there inside itself. And what is the answer for the question what who asked?
Rao, sir.
Yeah. And the answer is there in Mahabharata itself. Who is the most saddest woman in this world? Gandhari. What is the reason? Her own son. And she is calling him and asking the same question what Rao asked. Why, my son? Why can't you be a good boy like your cousin brothers? Naturally, every mother will ask, right? Because even today we are saying Duryodhana is bad, Dharmaputra is good. Don't you think Gandhari was wise enough to ask the same question to her own son? Yes. Many times she asked. There are references in Mahabharata. And what was the answer? Most beautiful answer. Janami dharmam. No lessons of teaching can make people good. Learn this. Not from me. Mahabharata says, Duryodhana himself says, I got 10% mark for all the assignments. What is dharma? I can ask. You write, answer is given, because I also learned where the same school where Dharmaputra also studied. Both of them were under same professor, Jeevan only. That doesn't make so much of lesson you give, students will not become good. They are from same family, understand. That's why I said the internal conflict. Same family background, and Duryodhana is much higher because his father was a king. Most earned, brightest family. The other fellow had little problem. But they studied in same school, same college, same professor taught to them. Why one became good and one became bad? Not because of knowledge. It is because of satsang. Who was the best company for Dharmaputra? You need good mentors. If your mentor is not good, you will do wrong. That is the message from Mahabharata. The mentor for Duryodhana was from
Shakuni.
Not from India. They were from Afghanistan. Kandahar, Gandhar Naresh. So if your mentor is from Afghanistan, you will become bad. That is Mahabharata lesson. If you have the God from India, you will become good. Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. I am not able to do. I know theoretically everything. That is the problem with each one of us. We know what is correct, but we are not able to do it. Why? Janami dharmam nachame pravritti janami adharmam. What should not be done is also not known to me. Nachame nivritti, I am not able to stop doing it. Why? Kenapi kamena hridisthitena yatha niyuktosi tadha karomi. I am driven by my desire, unstoppable desire. That is why I am doing this mistake. Why that unstoppable desire is in me? Because my company is such people. Chakuni. So your satsang, your mentor matters. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. So the importance of satsang, not class, not by birth. No education can make people good. Otherwise, the most developed country with a lot of education would be spreading value system. Our wisdom chart with a knowledge chart, if you day, it is not 45% slope. It doesn't happen. The PhDs holders are not wiser and non. That's why I said qualification doesn't matter. My father was zero. He never attended to schools in his life. My mother never attended to classes. Third class dropout. But she keeps saying, I got a son. We had lot of acres of land. So I keep saying, all this is gone. Now we have nothing in our hand. And she will keep saying, Lakshana Putra Endina Yodhanam. I have a beautiful, wonderful wisdom son. Why do you require money? Alakshana Putra Endina Yodhanam. If you are so rich but you are a bad son, what is the purpose of life? So what is good? Being good. And how do we be good? It is not with the knowledge and not with the prestige, not with the power, position. It is the wisdom which we have. And that will come only with satsang. No classes. And today what has happened in education system, we have got value education and one question paper, one answer. What is value system? We will write and you say, we have introduced wisdom classes, value system classes, meditation, yoga, everything is put. And with all this yogic knowledge today in India's happiness index is 3. There are much better world outside where yoga is not in practice. This is the problem which we have. We make everything academic. Know it, understood, right examination, 100 marks, you are good. No. Satsang, good mentors, value system has to be inculcated and that has to come. That is the purpose of all these, the scriptures what we had. We lost it. The scripture is there, but we lost those messages from that. Yeah. Sorry. I am overshooting that time.
Thank you, Dr. Jeevan sir, and also Dr. TPS for the wonderful responses. And as the Dr. TPS said, Dr. Jeevan's response was logical, and Dr. TPS actually he tried to answer this question from the very perspective of Mahabharata, and he said how mentor becomes so useful part in one's life, and how Guru Shishya Parampara that we carry, especially if it is taken in the right sense. Okay, in the Indian tradition that carries lot of value, lot of weight, and that is also distorted. I shouldn't say these days, and that tradition is not continuing because of the Western influences, maybe. But if we attach to that tradition, and we can think of the richness that Dr. TPS was speaking of. So mentor plays a lot of plays a vital role in one's life, and who is the mentor? It matters. So thank you, Dr. TPS. Thank you very much for your wonderful session, wonderful responses, and I also thank Dr. Jeevan for his responses. Now let us all move to Dr. Kailash Maharana for proposing the vote of thanks. Whether he's there.
Yes, simply speechless. It's a wonderful session, a great academic session, a great question session, and I become speechless after listening the responses made by Dr. TPS and Dr. Raj Purohit sir, and philosophy family today is grateful to both the towering personality for enlightening us, for inspiring us, for motivating us, and it's a great session, sir. I don't find in words how to appreciate Dr. TPS and how to appreciate Dr. Jeevan. I simply bow down my head before their wisdom. Now, over to you, sir. please propose a hearty vote of thanks to all the scholars and all the viewers. And to today, Professor Pramod Pradas has given a very beautiful observation that is self-transformation is the goal of life, is the goal of sadhana, and to make, to have that is a happiest life. And today, the questions are the questions made by Professor Srinivasan and others have also enlightened us. Now, over to you, sir, to propose a hearty vote of thanks and gratitude. Not a vote of thanks, to propose a hearty gratitude to both the speakers and the viewers. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mahana. Well, one thing, if I refer to Dr. TPS, he said that it doesn't matter how many are attending, it matters whether I have enjoyed it or not. And to this, let me tell you, sir, actually today, most of the participants, they are busy for their lectures, interviews. 73 posts have come out, and most of them are busy preparing for their interviews starting from 21st of this month, say from tomorrow itself. 21st is nothing tomorrow. That's why most of them have not attended. But definitely, I think once this is shared in the group, they will be looking into, and they will understand how beautiful it was. So I say I should thank Dr.
No, Dr. Rao, one Srabani Misra is good enough.
Yes,
I saw the comments, no.
Yes, sir. Sravani Misra, madam, she attends all the lectures, sir. She is committed, and she raises very beautiful questions, sir. So thank you so much, sir. As you said, the number doesn't matter, and really so. The number doesn't matter. If a sense of satisfaction does come, actually, whether I have done my job, and it doesn't matter who is listening or not. Sir,
and I must thank Dr. Jeevan for that inputs. Otherwise, I will be something else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You gave the fire, the spark.
Yes, sir. He served. He made the base, sir, today. Actually, that's why I said in the beginning itself. So it was Dr. Jeevan's lecture that gave all the food for thought to Dr. TPS, and it was a continuous and it maintained a continuity, and the discussion that followed, and it was a harmonious whole, and to which both Dr. Jeevan and Dr. TPS tried to see things over the same issue from different angles, and that's how Philosophy family finds a lot of thankfulness to them, both of you. And I should also thank Srinivas Iyer sir, who is so much committed, and for the questions that he asked. And both, I should agree, everybody will agree that the questions that he raised were very genuine. And one thing, Dr. TPS, which responded to Srinivasan, that a true devotee doesn't want to say, he never closes his eyes. He has to have the darshana of the Lord, and automatically the eyes gets closed. And that is a learning experience that we got from Dr. TPS. Normally what we do, we go and we waste a lot of time to visit to Sabarimala or Tirupati and simply go before the deity and simply close. Everything is gone. So that closing part, the closing of the eyes, that's automatically come. And this is a great learning that I got from Dr. TPS, and I should thank for this. And this is I say a statement that can never be forgotten. And this is a thing that I can also communicate to others. But other technical things that he has said, but very nice thing that he has said is, a true devotee, for a true devotee, there is no requirement of closing the eyes consciously. Unconsciously somehow the eyes gets closed, and that is the sign of a true devotee. So it's a great learning, sir, because you are from the teachings from the Himalayan masters, you know the techniques. So thank you, sir. You are into our family. You come and you give a lot of guidance, sir. So Philosophy family is very much thankful to you. But I cannot express, the words are not coming, how to thank you, sir. So thanks a lot to you, sir. And also thank Dr. Jeevan Purohit, sir, who is from a different background, but his depth in Indian philosophy, his inquisitiveness, his zeal for studying Indian philosophy and also expressing his thoughts in his own way and the responses that he comes across. So it is not possible from even from a very good philosophy professor, I say. So that comes only when one has a sort of inclination for the for whatever things that we do, because as a soldier, as an army man, he has a devotion to his duty, and so whenever he is with a lecture, he has lot of commitment to what he says. So that's how I should. Philosophy family is very much thankful to Dr. Jivan Puraj sir, and we wish to have a lot of lectures from him in future, because he is taking Indian philosophy from his own practical understanding, not from the theoretical angle. So that's how that would be helpful. So I thank you, sir. Thank you a lot, sir. I should thank Srinivasan ji for his for the questions that he raised, and that also made Dr. TPS to look into the pages, and finally he got the quotation that he wanted, and so this is how
Pranayamena.
enlightened. He says he is learning. So that is the greatest thing that we should know. He said, you see, he's a man of great wisdom, and whatever you ask, there is a Google search TPS, but still then he says, I'm learning. And from when Krishnamurti sir asked, and he searched it, and he said, even though I'm answering you, but at the back of the mind, something else is going on. So finally he got it, the quote, and that gave the internal conflict that was there, finally got resolved, and, and having that. So that is commitment, and that is, and many people don't have that. So number doesn't count, the commitment counts at the end of the day. And we have, say, both the speakers are committed, and Krishnamurti at this age still sitting with us from the beginning. So that is commitment, and that is what philosophy family actually wants. So thanking you, sir. I should thank Pramod sir also for the entire business, entire structuring of the program that is made by him. And also one line he tried to summarize both the lectures by saying that life is all about the self-transformation, and very nicely has said. And also thank Dr. Kailash Mahana sir for his introduction of the speakers, and also his part.
Yes, Dr. Rao, it is not transformation, transformation.
Transformation.
It is transformation. That is what happens.
Sir. So thankful, sir. Thankful, sir. And one more, and I'm to thank Shravani Mishra madam for raising the questions. Even Dr. TPS could not keep himself, from not commenting. He said, well, should thank Shravani Mishra. Even a participant like Shravani Mishra would fill the gap of many scholars not attending today. So thank you, Shravani madam, and all others who attended this webinar and made this webinar successful. I say successful in spite of the fact, as TPS pointed, that in spite of the numbers, there is no number game here. The commitment that counts. And if we are talking about numbers, this program will be uploaded, and the people who not attend today because of the other schedules that they have, because they have to face interview tomorrow, because they are to different mindset now. So maybe they have not attended. So definitely we'll be asking them to look into these videos. Okay, that would be uploaded tonight, and I think there will be a lot of food for further thought. And this would make us to invite again Dr. TPS to come up with the original lecture that he wanted to say something. Maybe he will be coming again with his original lecture. Today's lecture was the platform that Dr. Jivan framed, and thank you both, sir, for making this webinar so successful, so wonderful, sir. Thank you, all of you, sir. Thank you so much. So now,
I thank you also, sir.
Yes.
I thank Dr. Rao for thanking all very faithfully and very affectionately. Faithfully means when somebody proposes vote of thanks, that is also a commitment to have proper assessment, to have that how he observes not only the talk but also the intention of the talk, attitude of a presentation. Everything is observed by Dr. Rao very nicely. I was enjoying Dr. Rao also
Yes.
with the speakers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you. With this, we shall close this session, these two sessions, and the Philosophy family is really grateful to both the speakers. Really, both the
Okay.
sessions were wonderful, and the discussion was also wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now the
Thank you, sir.
meeting is declared.
Sir, pranam, sir. Sir, pranam, sir.
Pranam, sir.
Okay,
Pranam.
pranam, sir.
Pranam, pranam, sir. Pranam, sir.
DPS sir, Dr. DPS sir, you said transformation. Trans is,
Formation.
I don't understand, it is meditation or what? Trans. TRANCE.
You going off from your practical world. That is actually spiritual, right?
Okay.